Hi friends, welcome back. Today we're talking about solving quadratic equations or graphing quadratic equations using a graphing utility. I highly recommend Desmos.com. It's a free website and it's got lots of great tools for you to use. You can also use a graphing calculator, but it's not as user friendly, so you'll probably need to watch some YouTube videos on how to use that. So Desmos is great though for being user friendly on that. And what do I mean by that? Well, let's take a look. Remember, quadratic means that it's x squared. So if you have an x squared in there, it's quadratic, and that shape is going to be a parabola. So it's going to be up like this, something like that. Now, we have three different types that we can, three different types of solutions. If we've got one that looks like this has two real solutions. You'll want to write this down in your notebook. What this means is that it crosses our axis two times, and wherever it crosses those axes, that is our x-axis, those are our solutions to that equation. When we have one real solution, it looks like this. It bounces right off of there. So this is one real solution. And then we have situations where we have no solutions, which looks something like this. It could be up, it could be down. It just does not cross that x-axis at all. So that's zero real solutions. That's when we have those imaginary or non-real solutions. Okay, so let's say we go ahead and graph this guy. So what you do to use Desmos is we are going to jump out to the landing page here. Oh, there we go. So here's our landing page. When you type in Desmos.com, you land right here, and all you have to do, you don't have to create an account or anything, just graphing calculator, and ta-da, there you are. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna type that in, y equals x squared. And to get up into the squared, up into your exponent, you'll wanna do shift 6, that's that caret, that little arrow pointing upwards. Okay, so then minus 2x, my 2 key is broken, so sometimes I miss it, minus 3. Okay, so this is a solution. This has two real solutions, and it looks like -1 and 3. So those are our x-intercepts, aka our zeros, aka our roots. Those things all mean the same thing. Your zeros, your roots, your x-intercepts. Now, let's go back and take a look at this. Sure enough, if you look at this guy here, if I were to factor this, right, I would go like this, and I would say x, x. This tells me different signs, so plus, minus, and factors of 3. I only have 1 and 3, and I need a -2. So +1 plus -3 would give me -2. So +1, -3. So that is the factored form of this. And again, your roots are the same thing as your zeros, and zeros means we're setting it equal to 0. So if I cross this out and I set this equal to 0, what I can do is my zero product property to say x plus 1 equals 0, which means x equals -1 because I'm minusing 1 from both sides. X minus 3 equals 0, add 3 to both sides, you get x equals 3. So we have x equals 3, x equals -1. Again, let's go out and take a look at that. Sure enough, we crossed at -1 and +3. So those are our solutions, our two real solutions. Let's try another one. Okay, so for our next one, we're going to do this guy. Now, if I were to go type this into Desmos, so let's take a peek at what that looks like. Oops, I got all crooked there. Okay, so let's take a peek at what that looks like. I'm going to type it in exactly as you see it there. So what I do is hit this x here, cross that out, and it start over. So x, quantity x minus 3 plus 6 equals 10. Now, you'll notice when I have that equal sign in there, I've got these two lines that just go like this. That's not helpful. That's not a parabola. And we know because we have two x's here, if we were to multiply x times x, we would get x squared. So we know it should be shaped like a parabola. It's a quadratic. This is because in order to use Desmos, you really have to solve for y or f of x. Remember, f of x is just a fancy way of saying y. It's our function notation. So what I mean by that is if we go here, we don't even have to distribute quite yet. Let's just leave it. X minus 3. And then if I minus 10 from both sides, you'll see I get -4 equals 0. So, and now replace our 0 with, I was crossing that out, but I realized that looks like an X. We're going to replace that 0 with a Y. So now if we go back over here and we do this, and instead of +6, we're going to say -4 equals y. You saw I didn't even have to put in the equals y part. I could just leave it that way. Now I have my parabola. So you do have to solve for 0 and then So set it equal to 0 and replace that for y. And you'll see, sure enough, this is two real solutions. Again, this one's going to be at -1 and at +4. So if I were to distribute this all the way out and then factor it, I would get, just like I did up here, I would get my solutions to be -1 and +4 instead of +3. All right, let's solve this one by graphing. Again, we need to set it equal to 0. So I'm going to -6 from both sides. Why would I do that? I set it equal to 0, and then I did exactly the opposite. I'm going to -4 from both sides. So that gives me quantity x plus 2 plus 2 equals 0. And I'm just going to replace that 0 with a y. So when I go to type this in, you'll see, go ahead and x this out. Now, y equals quantity x plus 2 plus 2. Now I could put equals y if I wanted to. Now in this case, you'll see that it does not cross our x-axis. So this has no real solutions. It has two non-real or two imaginary or complex solutions, but no real solutions there. Hopefully that helps you understand Desmos a little bit better and understand the different types of solutions we can get when we're graphing quadratics. If you have any questions, let your teacher know. Otherwise, we'll see you next time.